Hello.
Hello.
You're both muted, yeah.
I'm-
Leslie, you're muted.
Hmm.
You're muted, Leslie. You're saying something, but we can't hear you.
Hold up a sign. And I'm still at work.
You work from home?
No, I work we have an office in Amherst.
Oh, you're in Amherst.
I didn't have time to get up the hill by 6:30, so
Got it. Yeah, so how's that working part-time?
it's good, but I get tired I work Wednesday's a long day and Friday's not as long, but it's like I miss my afternoon nap.
Oh,
But I'm enjoying the work. That part is lovely, actually.
no, it's great.
I'm not running anything. I just do the work. But I can't get home. It's good. You do what you do.
And no, it's good for you too. It really is. That's
Well,
why I like being on these committees, it's the FinCom. I got all my spreadsheets and
I know. It's like I was thinking that last night, how this is your work. You're just sort
this
of
is filling my void, yes. But not, like you said, not near as, I don't have employees walking in the door complaining about stuff.
no.
I could help you if you need some. I could.
It's actually bad enough with the public working and complaining.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, the assessor's office, yeah.
See my badge on.
Nice. No, that is official.
It is.
So is that the building that's on East Pleasant? It's behind the fire station or next to the fire station?
No, we're part of Kaminsky's real estate. We're on the corner of Amity and University Drive. This is a very small office. No psychiatrist, there's no front desk, and there's only 6 offices, and I really like the people who work here, so it's just I didn't get a nap.
April, you're working now?
I am very part-time. I'm seeing
Okay.
about 8 to 10 clients a week, so it's not that part-time, but it's pretty part-time. Interesting work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
open the meeting, Howard.
I will open the meeting. Is Becky here?
Yes.
Hi.
I guess she
I'm
must
here.
be. If we're here, if we're here, then you're here. Okay. Yes. Okay. I will open the meeting. Present are Assessors Board's members George Arvanitis and April Stein, Chairman Howard Spetner, Town Administrator Becky Torres, Administrative Assessor David Burgess, and Assessor's Clerk Leslie Bracebridge. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the January 17th meeting. Has everybody, the board members had a chance to look at those meetings, those minutes? Okay. And I move, any questions about the minutes?
No.
Okay. So I move that we accept those minutes.
I'll
I second that.
And I'll
Okay. I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, the motion passes. The second item on the agenda is to approve the accountant reports. Leslie, correct me if I'm wrong. We have 2 accountant reports to approve. We have the January automotive abatement report, which has absolutely no entries on it. It's just a formality. It says 0. And we have another report with several exemptions on it. I got that right?
That's correct. And the total for the personal exemptions is $15,913.55.
Okay.
There's-
Any question? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Any questions about the accountant reports? Okay. I move that we accept those reports, approve those reports, whatever. Yeah. Approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, I vote aye.
Aye, Arvanites, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, the next item on the agenda
Could I
is,
just say one more thing that I neglected?
please.
Send out the CPA surcharge exemption report, but I'll do it next meeting. I apologize. I didn't realize till just now that I didn't send it out.
Okay, can we approve it without having you sent it or not? I guess no.
I would
Okay, I
like
won't
you
do that.
to, but it doesn't, it's not like certificates. It's okay. Ellen's already got the information because you did it in January. You approved the certificates in
Okay,
January.
fine.
So
So
I
it
may
doesn't matter
send
at
her
all.
the report anyway and just unsigned until you actually say to sign it.
Okay, so we're good. The next item is to review and approve the revised valuation warrant to the collector. The warrant is for, I believe it's personal property on the Lodestar installation. Okay, and again, I'm not familiar with the history of this, but apparently the personal property, the valuations had to be revised and they're done, and we
No,
need to approve them.
Can I jump in, Howard?
I'm sorry,
Can I just say a word?
Yes.
please speak.
What we're looking at here, the Lodestar, the town negotiated a payment in lieu of taxes, which is basically this year $89,000. However, because of the way the tax bills have to be calculated, we can't get it exactly to the amount of the money. So once we send out the bill, we send out a revised bill for the balance. It's only $1,583.74. So it's just a matter of keeping the numbers right.
Okay,
David? So the 89,000 is one piece and then the battery piece is about another 12,000.
No, I remember I changed that this year. I took it and put it all together and put it all on both of them.
Yes, they should be all in one bill, but
That's
it's
right.
more than 89,000.
No, there was I think one's 70 something and one's 12 or something like that.
No, dead wrong, can't be. I helped negotiate that. I know those figures are short.
Well, we can take a look at it and see, but I think
The storage is 10,230.
storage is 10,230 and the other one's 80,692. So it comes to 90,000, yeah.
Wait, say it again. 10,332 and 89.
So 10,230.46,
Okay. And the other number?
80,692.
Shouldn't it be closer to 100,000?
And that's for that's for the 5th year.
That's for 24, yes. Next year it's going to be 10,486 and 82,709.
Can't fight the facts, but it seems low. Good job,
Sure,
Dave. No, it's 89 just seems, I thought we were closer to 100. I'm still getting over the burn that somebody signed a contract without input from anybody else. And he went with DC figures when he should have gone with AC figures that were about 15–20% higher. But anyway, that's another story.
who signed the contract? Or are you not allowed to say?
I think
I'll
that
take
makes
that as
I
a
think she'd prefer
no.
not to say.
That would be a personnel matter. Okay. I have a question about this. It's just a background question because I am so ignorant. Payment in lieu of taxes. Are these people formally exempt from paying any real estate tax?
No.
No,
Okay.
they're solar programs, solar installations, and it has become a habit more than anything else. They're valued as personal property. And if we value their personal property at the cost up front, they'd be paying a huge amount of taxes in the first year. So it was developed and agreed by the state that we can average them over 20 years and gradually keep it lower at the front end and raise it at the back end. Normally for the personal property account, you'd see it higher at the front end and lower at the back end. But this just goes up at the end. This is
Okay.
get established.
So let me see if I've got my language right. We are amortizing the depreciation. Is that what we're doing?
More or less, yes.
Okay, good to know. See, I learned something. Okay. And as I understand it, we need to vote on this. We need to approve this. Yes.
We need to put your signature stamps on it. David has prepared the document, but the numbers in the document, but it would be, if you want to give us permission, put your signatures on it, that would be nice.
Okay. How about I just move to, how about I move to approve the thing? Is that okay? Okay, I move that we approve the revised valuation warrant on the Lodestar personal property.
I'll second.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, motion passes. The next item on the agenda is the, we need to approve the first motor vehicle commitment for 2024. That's the big one that has most of the cars on it, and it's 197,000, I think, and change. Any questions?
$399.60.
Okay. Any questions or comments about the commitment?
The only question I would have is there'll be more of these, right?
That's
As
correct.
more
Small ones. They
small
keep
ones,
coming.
right?
As people buy and sell vehicles, as that's good enough. Don't make it more complicated, Leslie. So hopefully, we get our information from the Registry of Motor Vehicles, and this is the time of year when all of a sudden people who moved out of state, out of Shutesbury, send us nasty letters saying, I moved, I don't owe this, I'm not paying it. And
Right.
one at a time, we go through them all and explain to them what might not have happened, ferret it out. And so we've got 8 abatements in addition to the exempt state vehicle, which is a
Okay.
riding lawnmower, and town
Okay.
vehicles and serious.
Okay, but that's the next item on the agenda. We're not there
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Okay. So I move that we accept the first motor vehicle commitment and approve it.
And I'll second.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda are what Leslie just alluded to, which are the motor vehicle abatement certificates. Leslie sent out copies of 3 of them. The 3 are the one vehicle that these are all vehicles that are housed in the town, but they are exempt for various reasons from abatements. I'm sorry, they're exempt from taxes. There's the one vehicle that the state owns. There are several vehicles that the town owns, and that's why it's like $9,000 or something. And there's the one vehicle that Sirius owns. Okay. In addition, what we have not seen, because Leslie just did them today, actually, are A, vehicles owned by individuals who, for various reasons, have to have their excise taxes abated. Leslie, do you want to comment on those at all?
Well, yes, I've been doing them all along as after the excise tax bills went out. And essentially it was what I just said, that when people move, unless they notify the registry that they moved, and then the bills come to, the information for the billing comes to Shutesbury. So then we have to, and or if people bought and sold in December, which is when the RMV captures the material to send for the excise bill information. Some people sold in December, and why am I still getting a tax on that car because I already sold it? It's just a lot all at once of everybody catching up with things that maybe didn't happen when they should have. So, as Howard said, there's the exempt vehicles for the town, there's the exempt one vehicle for the state park. It's a deer, so I'm guessing it's a riding lawnmower or something. And then there's the three ABC entities get one exempt vehicle a year. They may have more vehicles than that, but only one can be exempted each year. And then, as Howard said, there's 8 more personal ones. These are things that go on throughout the year, but are come all at once, our big crush with the first commitment. So basically, anyone who wanted to come in and see the applications and the certificates ahead of time were invited to amongst the board individually. And David has reviewed everything. So at this point, I'm looking for you folks to authorize us to put your signature stamps on the certificate for the first part of this. And then the second part would be, in years past, the certificates we used didn't say this was voted at the board meeting on such and such a date. It just was a matter of putting signature stamps on. Meetings were in person. Things have changed so much over the years that just to keep everything above board, what I'd love to have you do is just to authorize assessor's office staff to approve motor vehicle abatements as they come in, because if the abatements don't get sent to the collector within the 30-day period, she may put them over to the deputy collector, and there can be fines and interest and penalties, which wouldn't be the case if we had been able to get the abatements to her as soon as problem comes in. So first of all, yes, please approve the work that we've done for these 11 abatements. That's the first question.
Okay, I move that we accept and approve the 11 excise tax abatements that automotive excise tax abatements that Leslie has just presented to us.
And I'll second.
Okay, and I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, and the second issue that Leslie just raised, which is I believe I'm not sure I'm going to have the wording of this right. Let me try. I move that we authorize Leslie to put signatures, that we authorize office staff to put signature stamps on automotive abatement certificates as they come in, without requiring a voice vote at a meeting.
First.
Got that right?
That's correct. You do see all the information in the monthly reports. It's just trying to keep the paperwork moving to avoid, as I say, if a meeting gets delayed or something like that, making sure Ellen has the information so she doesn't inadvertently send something off to the deputy collector that we have already approved here in the office. It's just a matter of getting it on to you.
Well, I'll second that.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda are review and approve real estate and personal property abatement certificates. The certificates, we have not seen the certificates. Leslie did not. Either they're not done yet, or Leslie just didn't send them to us. But what we did have are logs. Those 2 spreadsheets that we got, those are the logs of those abatements, and they have been reviewed and approved by David. There is one, Leslie, correct me if I'm getting this stuff wrong. There is one personal property abatement, which is the Clark excavating business.
No, it's
Auto wrecking.
Or auto wrecking.
the Clark Auto Wrecking.
Clark Auto Wrecking business, which the reason the personal property is being abated is that this is the first year that the company has actually been incorporated. And that's how the law goes. They don't have to pay it if it's incorporated. The second the second set of exemptions are real estate I'm sorry. The second set of abatements are real estate abatements. That is the second log that we got that has 4 pieces of property on it. In those cases, those are all abatements that David has approved based on his inspections of the property.
That's
Got all
correct.
that right? Okay.
Yep.
Any questions about those two sets of abatements, basically the real estate and the personal property abatements?
The personal property abatement form, I don't see a total. It looks like the schedule is bigger than what my screen is holding.
I
Yeah,
think, I'm sorry, I think that I sent out an incomplete one. The total amount was $578.83. I just caught that when Howard came in at 5:30 tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No big deal. So it's $578 roughly.
That's correct, and 83
Okay.
cents.
Okay. If there are no more questions on that, I'm going to move that we approve those certificates.
And I'll second that.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Review and approve the exemption certificate. I'm sorry, the next item on the agenda is to review and approve the exemption certificates. I believe that is the third log that, sorry. That is the third log that Leslie sent us that has several exemptions on it. I forget exactly what they are. Leslie, do you want to just run them through us?
There's actually one personal exemption and one veterans exemption. I think what may be confusing is you already approved the January personal exemptions, but these are the
Okay.
ones that we have processed in February. You have not seen them unless you've come to the office. The applications are not public record, so all that you're looking at and discussing is the actual process certificate, and that is public information. But even nevertheless, I don't send them out. You always are welcome. You all know that, to come in individually and look at the applications. You as assessors are entitled to look at them. And David and I both look at them. So what we're looking for again tonight is the actual approval certificate that gets mailed to them, that gets sent to the collector and to the accountant so that they can balance out their records. Just tells the name, the property, the amount.
Okay, and since I'm looking at it now, I'll just mention to people that it's 2 exemptions. One is Blanche Clark for blindness. The other is Philip Lee.
Yep. That's correct.
So
Okay, the other is
37A
Philip
is,
Lee.
37A
Is
is
a-
for blindness and 22E is for military service veteran.
That's
Right.
correct. 22,
Okay.
there's a number of different ones, depending on the amount of disability one has.
Mhm.
And you know, it's public information who gets it for what, but I just would rather you come in and look at it and then just sign the certificates or approve ours, putting your signature stamps on the certificates.
Okay, and I'm going to move that we approve those exemption certificates.
And I will second that.
Okay, and I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Okay, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is to approve the notice that Leslie and David, sorry.
I'm sorry, we're just having a little discussion here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. I'm mixed up.
We have
Okay.
one denial for the lady on an exemption. She doesn't qualify for it. She's applying for a military exemption on behalf of her husband who died, but he didn't qualify for it. So we just have to
Yeah.
deny it. And we do need your approval to do that.
You have to have at least 10% disability. He had no disability.
Okay, this is not Michelle Cunningham. This
No.
is somebody else. Okay, And so I'm sorry. Please tell me I missed it. Please tell me again what the deal is here.
The lady husband died and she thought he could get an exemption. He did not. She could have got a widow's exemption if he had qualified for any exemptions when he was alive. He did not. He needed at least 10% disability, and he did not have that. So we're
Okay,
asking to deny the application.
okay. And what's the name? Who's the name? Who is it?
Keaton Perkins.
Okay, fine. Okay, I move that we deny Jean Perkins' application for an exemption.
A second,
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvin said.
and Stein, aye.
Okay. Okay, thank you, David. The next item on the agenda is to review and approve the notice that Leslie and David prepared for the spring issue of Our Town. Has everybody had a chance to read that?
I'm reading it now. Fortunately, I
Did read that.
I apologize.
And thank you so much for doing this.
So
I
how
thought it was-
different is,
Sorry, keep going.
how different is this from last year's?
Quite different, and if you prefer last year's better, I just happen to have it right here because last year I went into, this year I covered a lot of things, and it happened to be things that were going on, such as the on motor vehicle excise. That's just something generally you have to keep teaching people about, that when they move, they have to change their place of garaging. But the other thing is people who are buying new cars, the price of cars has skyrocketed. And so they're getting these huge excise tax bills, and it's knocking some people off their feet. And this is all statutory. It's $25 per thousand. And they may have been driving around in an old vehicle that was down at its minimum value of 10% of its manufacturer's list price. And then all of a sudden they go to the dealership and get convinced, oh yeah, we need a brand new car. And one of them came in for $738. And the people are strapped when they buy a new motor vehicle with all the taxes they pay at the time they buy it, and then they're on payments. So I tried to just gently say, to be prepared. If you buy a new vehicle, that excise tax is 90% in the first year, then it goes down to 60% value in the second, 40 in the third. I can't remember, but it's been the same since 1928. I know that because I just checked the assessors, the excise tax law.
She paid the first motor vehicle excise.
I just happened to do a report on the history of motor vehicle excise once, and I laughed. The original statute lists the same value structure, but the value of cars has gone up, and people, so that's motor vehicle. That's why I put that in chapter 61. Just reminding people they need to tell us if they're not going to they're not going to keep it in chapter, that those were due December this year instead of October like they used to be, and people forget and don't do it, and you can't give them the benefit, because what if they're trying to get out of it? There's consequences if you give it to them, and then if you don't give it to them, and there's consequences if you do. So that was that. Exemptions. There's various deadlines. Please let us know if you want us to send you applications. And new growth was let people know that it's spring and David's going to be out and about. And forms of lists, we need them back. So last year I was scrambling, and I just did a reminder that David would be out and about. And there was one other item. This is the long answer to George's question. the new growth and David being out and about was much longer and detailed last year. But I felt there's more things that people need to pay attention to this year.
I read through it with Leslie, and I think she covered everything pretty good, pretty well for the coming seller. And I liked it.
So George, what do you think? You want to approve this
Yeah,
thing?
I think it's fine. No, I don't have any questions. I'm looking at the exemptions and the list of things that we have in the first sentence. It doesn't seem comprehensive to me, but I guess all low-income seniors, that's the means testing, veterans, the veterans is the big one. And I know if you're a spouse of a deceased veteran, that'd be under veterans, right? So I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it is comprehensive. It just didn't look in more disabilities. Okay.
And,
No, I don't. It looks good. I think this should be helpful to people.
and I'm looking now at 23, and the only other thing I had on 23 was more comprehensive information about the reval stuff, and that's not appropriate for this year.
Right. Next reval year is when?
28.
It's every 5 years now, right?
Thanks, God.
Used to be 3. I remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, not as well as you remember it. Yes. No, I'm fine with it. I think it looks great.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay. I thought it was very well written, by the way.
Thank you.
I move that we approve the notice for the spring issue of our town.
And I'll second that.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
Motion passes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is to review and approve the CAI map maintenance contract. The CAI is the company that does all our mapping for us. This particular contract, which is not for the entire year, and I'm not quite sure how much it covers, but it's for
It's for the-
1,450. It's
For
for
the
1,400.
entire year, but it's not the entire contract. They do the
Okay.
map maintenance January to January because that's how we maintain our assessors maps. In October, they'll be sending our GIS maintenance for FY25, and they wait till October so that, because if they sent the FY25 GIS contract now, we wouldn't be able to pay it because we can't pay bills before the new year's start, before the new fiscal year starts. So this is for maintenance for a full year that goes by January to January, which is how we do our maps.
Okay.
The next one we'll get in October for a full year for GIS.
Okay, and just to be clear, we have to approve this. Okay, we need them to do this.
Yeah.
And we're not getting anybody else. I move that we approve the contract.
And I'll second.
So,
Okay,
so
I
Ms.
vote
Wynn,
aye.
does this go out to bid? Is that how these,
What was the question?
did this go out to bid? Are they the only contractor that does this?
They're not the only contractor, but they're on the state bid list, so they're probably for a town this size, they're about the best. I have them in Greenfield and where else? Orange. So they're around quite a bit. Amherst does their own, but they've got a lot of money. So
Yes.
We had Main Street maps when Ken had gone out to bid years ago when we started this up, and we were using Main Street maps. They were bought out by this company.
Got it.
And,
Okay,
and we've had
great.
a bargain. They did not raise the prices in 3 years. We kind of discussed it a little bit at the finance committee
Finance
with you.
committee.
You recollect? They're putting us on a steady rise and through 26, FY26.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I move that we approve the contract.
I'll second.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arvanitis, aye.
And Stein, aye.
I'm
Okay,
going
the
to
motion
change the
passed.
wording to that you recommend to the select board that they approve it because it's a contract for the town. If
Okay.
you don't mind, little.
I don't mind. Okay.
editorial.
Okay, fine.
And you don't have
And,
to sign it.
and Becky, Becky has already I explained to the assessor that because of the timing of the meetings, the select board approved it first with the understanding that assessors were in favor. David was in favor of it, and that I was going to run it by the assessors before I mailed it out. That works.
That's fine.
That works. That
That's
definitely works.
fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Got to
Okay.
be creative.
Okay.
Resourceful. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is to review and approve the Chapter 61, 61A, 61B applications and liens. My understanding is that we have one 61A application, agriculture application that needs to be approved. I got that right, Leslie?
Correct. There's
Okay.
more in the pile of recreation, but they're all of the ones that I have put to the back of the workload are
Okay,
routine ones. So there's one more agricultural one that needed your approval.
okay. And who
And
is it?
it's ongoing. It's 45 Schoolhouse Road. It's Ellisand Sweeney.
Okay,
Don't we?
Is the application complete, Leslie?
Yes, it is. And it took some time to get it, but it is done. Not necessarily on time, but once again, that's the thing that you run into. If you deny it because you don't have it right on time, and you go through the whole process of releasing the lien certificate, and then they come and want to apply. So it just is a difficult thing in all assessors' offices. You want to hear from them whether they do want to continue or they do not, because we cannot make that decision for them. And some people are better at getting applications in than others. A lot of people, it's the chapter laws are complicated enough for those of us who are in the field. But
Yeah.
it is complete.
okay. And just to be clear, this is a renewal, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions about it?
No.
Okay. I move that we approve this application.
And I'll second.
Okay, I vote aye.
Arbornitis side.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Next item is topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Are there any? There are none. Okay.
George,
Okay. Okay. Speak
we
now
have
or
our
forever.
information from
Okay.
George.
Well, actually, I do have a question, something I wanted to ask about before we adjourned. If this is the appropriate time.
It is.
So, Finance Committee is putting the budget together for the year. And we're going to have to use quite a bit right now with what we have. We're going to have to use quite a bit of excess levy capacity to balance the budget. Over $100,000. I think it was like 141, Becky, I think it was. And certainly we're not done. We've got to look at places where we can cut budgets, and we are concerned about our revenue estimates. I'm not going to get too deeply into the revenue estimates. I think Becky's probably might follow up with you on that. But one specific item I was interested in, I remember in our meetings that, Leslie, you were describing how you're in communication with Temenos, Sirius, the state on the pilot agreements, and the revenue that we get from those is obviously very important. And I was wondering, and Amherst, I guess, Amherst is the other one, Amherst, Atkins Reservoir. Are we current on our assessments and our calculations? Do we do that on an annual basis and update those calculations based on the increased value of the properties?
Becky can best answer that. She and Howard reviewed them all, I believe. Howard, Kevin Rudden.
Kevin Rudden, we went through them, but we did not go through the Amherst one.
The Amherst one is a pilot that's controlled by the state. That's set in stone. I can't give you the whole wording, but basically every time there's a change in valuation, we can go up to at least the same amount of taxes that they paid the previous year. It's an ongoing thing. So
Okay,
it goes up slightly, and we do look at it every year.
Okay, good. That's what I want. That's what was hoping. I want to make sure they don't go stale. We're looking for any revenue, as you can imagine, that we can find. So that's good to hear. All right. It's not good to hear because I was hoping you'd say, well, let's look at it and see if we can get it higher, but all right. I'll take it for what it is.
All right.
The other issue that came up on the recap again, I just want to know, has Amherst been billed for this year? Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Do
you.
you know who you're talking to?
I just wanted George to hear it because we keep going. We had some bumps.
Yeah, we
earlier.
had one year that was missed and there was a blip.
We had
Was it
pre-David, we had problems.
We had David. David went backwards.
And he solved that problem and got the money back.
He's our hero.
It's just a matter of sending a letter.
No,
To the right person.
right,
Yeah,
you're
to the right
being
person,
modest.
And then
Mhm.
following up when they don't respond.
And from someone they knew.
Very well.
We were lucky.
Mm.
Thank you, David.
Okay, so the last thing that we need to do is if there's nothing else, is to schedule the next meeting. Okay. My situation is a little bit complicated. 4 weeks from today is March the 20th, and 5 weeks is the 27th, and 6 weeks is April the 3rd. I spoke to Leslie, and Leslie says that if we need to, we can go out to April the 3rd, 6 weeks without any trouble. It won't create any problems for us. But I don't know quite now. I don't know just now which of those dates I'm going to be free on, and I won't know for a while. In case anybody's wondering, this has nothing to do with my health. Just
Good. Really?
Travel schedule?
okay,
That's-
which comes up periodically. Are other people free? Any of those 3 dates? Does anybody know that they're not available on any of those 3 dates?
No,
FinCom is meeting there. No,
At
no,
this point, I'm free.
Those are
it looks
okay.
good.
Okay, looks good. And Becky and Leslie already said so, and David said so. Becky, you good?
Yep.
Okay. What I'm going to suggest is that we schedule a meeting for March the 20th, with the understanding that I might have to move it to the 3rd on short notice. Can we
Okay.
live with
That's
that?
fine.
Oh,
Yep.
for sure.
Okay. When I say short notice, I mean like 1 or 2 days before.
No
Sorry.
problem.
That's fine.
Sorry.
48 hours in
Okay.
advance, Howard, not including weekends and holidays. So if you have to change it, leave at least
we can-
48 hours.
No, we
We
can
can cancel.
cancel.
You can always
We can
cancel
cancel.
within 48 hours.
He's
You
saying
We've done that
cancel.
before.
set the
Right.
date and
We've
then-
done that before.
But if he's rescheduling he needs to
Yeah.
give 48 hours notice and get it reposted. And it
sounds
can't
like
be
if-
holidays and weekends.
It sounds like if you cancel March 20th, you
Just
want to go
repost it
straight
that
for
day.
April 3rd, right? Is
Mhm.
that what you said?
Yes, that's what I,
Okay, so there's no concern about 48 hours.
No, there shouldn't be.
so in other words, we could cancel this won't happen. We could cancel the afternoon of the 20th and move it to the 3rd, and that would not be a problem.
Right.
And if,
It actually won't be that bad, but it could. Okay. In that case, let's very tentatively plan on March the 20th.
Okay.
April the 20th. Sorry, no, I'm right.
March the
March the
20th.
20th
oh,
March the
right.
20th.
Plan
Okay.
for April.
Okay.
and April 3rd is the back.
I'll have
Is
Leslie the
and
14th.
April 3rd is keep it clear. And if any of these dates become impossible for anybody, let us know as soon as you know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. Anything else we need to take care of? Sounds like no. I move that we adjourn.
Now, second,
Okay. I vote adjourn. Do we have to vote on the adjournment? Yes, we do. I vote
We made
adjourn.
a motion.
The motion passes. We are now adjourned. Thank you very much. Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for all your nice work.
good night, everyone.
See you later.
Good night.
Thank you, thank you.